Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3. So, I think we're mostly done with our business here at Worms Crossing, and before I move on I would like to go back to camp because I think we need to check out what's going on there, maybe look for a doppelganger or something similar. There's one minor thing I still wanted to do, and that is go up here and see if anything is going on here. I mean, probably not, but let's be thorough. Okay, we got more dye. A black and furnace red cobalt dye. Sure. Maybe I will actually steal something for a change. Portrait of a woman. Blackboard.
Note to self, restock 10 pounds taffeta and find an additional leather supplier. Incoming war equals increased flaming fist orders.
Apparently she's expecting more profit soon anyway. And is this just... Yep, this is just a way outside. Okay, I guess that's all there is to this place. So let's head out and let's go to camp. I'm sure some people want to talk to me about what happened at the coronation too, so yeah, I don't know, I guess we will just make camp here right on the road. Okay, here we go. So far everything looks normal.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
Yeah, we need to find that imposter.
But please, don't look at me.
I still am slightly suspicious about the cat, but I don't really have any specific reason to suspect the cat or the kid, right? So we need to keep our eyes open. I suppose I will quickly see if my other companions have anything to say.
A devil will come for her due. Mizora is no different. Whatever it is she comes to offer, whatever choice Wyll makes, someone will suffer. Count on it.
Right, Mizora wanted to show up as well. Voss has gone underground. He'll be waiting for us there. I guess so.
Voss has done his duty. Now, we will do ours. We must find our way to the House of Hope and take the Orphic Hammer. When we next enter the Astral Prism, we will use the hammer to break Orpheus free.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I haven't decided yet. Also, you may notice that Lizelle is actually wearing a new armor. That's Catheric's armor. I wanted to try something new for her, so that's what she's wearing at the moment. And yeah, that's all we can talk about. But let's see if she has any more dialogue.
Voss is waiting beneath the city. We'll apprise him of our progress once we have the Orphic Hammer in hand.
And let's make sure we have exhausted everything
I'm listening.
here. Okay, now we're back to standard dialogue. So I will check in with my other companions.
Mizora. I take anything she says with a grain of salt. But with her claws as deep in our business as they are, I guess we can't ignore her completely.
Apparently we can't. But we'll see what she actually wants from us once she showed up.
Soldier.
Okay, we're back to standard dialogue here.
I had no wish to lose Wyll, but my, it would have been nice to flush her into the colony's flesh pit.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been an option, right? To just kill her when she was trapped in Moonrest Towers. But I'm not entirely sure what would have happened to Wyll and his contract if we had done that. Would killing the devil also kill, like, everyone who was, like, packed bounded to her? I have no idea. You mentioned there might be another way to find Minsk. I don't know, do you have any plan yet?
There might be, but it's not a path I tread until we must. Let it wait until the city proper. Perhaps I'll have had a better idea by then.
Okay, whatever.
I've had a lifetime's fill of watching little men puff themselves up with grand titles. I look forward to the day we show the Archduke that his tongue is not half so silvered as he thinks.
Okay, so she also has some dialogue about the coronation. As do I. You're not interested in his offer? We can't pick a fight while he's surrounded by his dear watch. Yeah, that's my concern as well. We need to deal with that problem first, probably.
We could. It would just be a very short one.
Indeed. Pick
We
your
cannot
battles.
expect either of the chosen to fall easily. But fall they must, if we're to have all three stones to command the brain.
Yes.
Still, if you see sense in making an alliance, I won't question it. I'll just look forward to the inevitable breaking Gortash spoke of.
So you would recommend that we agree to the alliance and then eventually just break it. I guess that's still an option. And what do you think of his warning of the doppelganger in our camp? Yeah, do you have any suggestions about that? How would we find the doppelganger?
It would be irritatingly true to form, would it not? A Harper learns to doubt, to peer through every smile, question every look. Eventually you find what it is you fear, whether it is there or not. When we cannot know, we can only trust. But then, that is exactly what a traitor in our midst would say.
I guess so. Yeah, you're not exactly being helpful. And I suppose everything else is just normal dialogue.
Ask it.
Or do we have anything new here? No, I think this is all old. So, never mind.
Yes?
Okay, that's all for Jaheira. Let's move on. Astarion.
I don't relish the idea of Mizora visiting our camp, let alone offering us anything resembling a deal. When the devils start approaching you, you know you're in deep.
I mean, you made a deal with Raphael, which, actually turned out to be not that bad. We fulfilled our end of the deal and you got what you wanted, but I think Mizora's deal might be a little bit more serious here.
My favorite traveling companion.
Alright, this is old, and he certainly doesn't sound like a doppelganger to me.
Always good to talk, my friend.
Okay, apparently I have already exhausted all my dialogue with him. Oh, Gale actually wants to talk to me.
Wyll ought to know what happened with Mizora. Whatever she has in store for him can't be good.
And yeah, nothing new here.
Almost pleasant travelling with company. If you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
I actually think the new color looks pretty good on her. Especially in bright sunlight, it doesn't look so bad for her. So maybe I will just stop looking for better dyes for her. It's really not that terrible. Not that dissimilar from what she's wearing, right, Dame Aelin or Isobel?
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome.
I'm guessing that these two are not going to be the doppelgangers. I
Keeping
mean,
very well, I hope?
can't rule it out, but they certainly sound like they always did.
Mizora schemes with Wyll's very freedom. He deserves to know what she is up to.
And yep, that's all he has to say.
Oakfather preserve you.
Yeah, some apparently do not have any comment on the coronation and stuff, just on the Mizora thing. Okay. But apparently Gale has something to say.
We must claim the crown of Karsus for ourselves, before anyone else does.
That's what's still on your mind? We are already way past that. We are talking about completely different things already. Like the coronation or Mizora.
Whatever business Wyll has with Mizora,
Okay,
it
here
will
we
cost
go.
him dearly. Or worse still, it will cost us. I hope we can afford it.
We will find out.
What's on your mind?
Okay, and that's all for Gale. So, at the moment, all my companions seem normal enough. Nothing that really screams doppelganger or traitor. I don't know, maybe it's the Owlbear Cup.
You smell very delicious, but I will not bite you.
Sounds pretty normal too.
Ooh, more.
And I'm guessing Scratch sounds normal as
Hope
well.
you're keeping well, friend.
Definitely. So yeah, I don't know. The doppelganger is definitely hiding pretty well. I mean, who else could it be? Could it be Withers? Probably not. Or could it just be like some sort of item? Like a crate or a stack of hay? Does it really have to be a living creature? I have no idea.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
Okay, all of this is pretty standard as well. So I don't really see any specific option to investigate people to see if they are like not what they seem to be. So I guess I will just have to wait and hopefully find some hints about the infiltrator. Maybe it's the dead badger over here that I can't reach. Yeah, but I guess I have talked to everyone, and I mean there aren't like any people down here, are there? Let's have a quick look. Nope, this is just an empty stable. Nothing unusual or suspicious about it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to start looking. I don't know how to investigate this, so I suppose I won't.
Here we go.
And I think this is just where the magic mirror is, right? Yes. But again, as far as I can tell, nothing unusual here. So I suppose I will just end the day and see if maybe in the evening more people want to talk to me. Let's end the day. Okay, well, something is happening. And there she is. Dramatic as always.
Sorore surge, testis esto.
What are you doing now?
pacti me.
do we really need more of
Come,
you guys? Yeah.
sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in Beator.
Notum sit in Beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice. Adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Okay.
Holy hells.
So, what is it supposed to accomplish? Just what are you up to? Interesting. I don't recall sending out invitations to the Sisters of Justice. Please introduce me to your friends. The Duke's been taken. Now what? Sure, let's use my arcana knowledge here, I suppose.
You do not call upon the sisters. They come when the hells demand witness.
And why do they demand that?
Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain.
Of course.
Sisters.
Infernos contractus te vocamus. Infernos contractus te vocamus.
We summon the infernal
Infernos
contract?
contractus te vocamus.
This seems to be more or less standard Latin. Yep, there's the infernal contract.
Your contract, Wyll. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable.
What are you proposing? Then break it already. Wyll doesn't need to wait 6 months. Remain silent. I mean, yeah, technically, we have already fulfilled the contract, right? When we freed her from Moonrise Towers, we just have to wait a while until it properly dissolves for reasons. So, what are you proposing?
A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Wyll Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Wyll.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you arsehole!
Choose.
Yeah, I mean, this is Wyll's choice to make, I would say. But there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, the way that Mizora is framing this new offer is kind of manipulative, because she basically says that, you know, I will give you back your freedom and I will break the pact if you sacrifice your father in return. But I mean, as far as I understand it, it's not really Wyll's freedom that is hers to give away anymore, because we already finished our or Wyll's side of the pact when we freed her. So if Wyll would do nothing at all, the pact would end in 6 months, and he doesn't have to sacrifice anyone. Unless there's another hidden clause in it that Mizora hasn't mentioned yet. But from what I understand, Wyll doesn't really need to do anything. If he would just, you know, sit still, in 6 months he will be free. And what is actually happening here is that Mizora is basically offering a completely new deal to replace the one that is going to end. And sure, this might just be semantics, but Mizora is very clearly using these semantics to manipulate Wyll and kind of guilt-tripping him by saying, well, would you really sacrifice your father just to get your freedom? But that's not what's going on here. You know, he will get his freedom one way or the other. Also, this new deal is kind of the same sort of deal that Wyll made with Mizora the first time. So there is a danger. Back then it was to Baldur's Gate as a city. Now it's to Duke Ravengard. And Mizora offers to help protect the city, or the Duke in this case. So it's just the same old story all over again. Except that this time the deal is actually significantly worse, because you're not protecting an entire city, but just one person. And yeah, she says it's a life for a life, but again, that's not really what's happening here, because the deal is very uneven. Wyll is going to pay for this for eternity. His side of, the pact will last forever. Duke Ravengard's life, will end at some point, one way or the other. So, sure, you might say an eternity of servitude is worth if it means that Duke Ravengard will live a few more years or decades or whatever, but it's still very uneven in terms to, the duties that Wyll has to do for this. So, yeah, at least the first time he made the deal, it was for like an entire city. Although I still have some serious doubts about the deal he made back then, specifically whether the threat on the city was actually real, because it's all a little bit too convenient. He was lured out of the city by some mysterious voice, and then he found some cultists who could, summon a dragon that would have destroyed the city, and Mizora just happened to be there to make him an offer to save the city. Suddenly there's this immense threat that is so dangerous and immediate that Wyll had to act on it right away, but at the same time it also was fairly easily containable with Mizora's help, and some mysterious voice just brought him there. I don't know, it still feels like a setup to me. So maybe Baldur's Gate wasn't actually in danger back then. As a matter of fact, we can't say for certain that Duke Ravengard is in immediate danger at the moment. Again, it's only Mizora telling us that, he's about to get killed like any minute, so you need my help to save him. But she stands to gain from this claim, right? So she could just lie to us. And like I said 2 episodes ago, I'm not sure if Gortish would just kill him off right away just because, he doesn't need him that badly anymore. He's still like the Duke, he's very respected, and, as someone who seems to be very pragmatic, I think keeping him locked up somewhere as a potential hostage or pawn or bargaining material, or just to parade him around every now and then as his little puppet would still be useful, and just keeping him alive doesn't really carry much of risk for Gortish. So, I don't know. I think Gortish would actually keep him alive, just in case he needs him for some reason again. I can't say for certain. I mean, Gortish certainly has no moral reservations, so it might be possible that he just kills him. But we have no real evidence for that other than Mizora's word, so... And if I think about Gortish's word that, he doesn't want to destroy Baldur's Gate, but rule it, so I think he also might think, I don't want to kill Duke Ravengard, I can control him, that's more valuable to me. So, again, let's not jump to conclusions here when it comes to Mizora's claims. Either way, from where I'm standing, this is a very bad deal, very uneven deal, and we're not even sure if the threat is as real or imminent as Mizora claims. But either way, let's see what my options are here now. What will happen to Wyll's powers if he breaks the pact? I guess that's a good question. He won't be a warlock anymore, so he will lose most of his magical abilities. Then again, to be honest, I don't really find him that useful in combat anyway. I think I will live if I can't use Wyll's powers anymore, so that is not really my major concern. Save your father, Wyll. The city will need him to help rebuild. Do the right thing. Give your soul so that your father can live. Break the pact, Wyll. You deserve your freedom. Let your father die. When the city is free, you can take his place. That's an interesting angle as well. I guess I will ask Mizora what happens if the pact is broken, if Wyll still has his powers after that.
Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
Okay, well, that is very fair. So he will get to keep his powers one way or the other. Okay, and now I'm back to these 4 options. Honestly, I think I would like Wyll's input on this. It's kind of strange that I don't even have the option to ask Wyll or just remain silent and, let him make the decision, as I had with some of the previous important companion decisions. Because of all the companion-related decisions we had so far, this one seems to be the most personal. The one where I think the person affected by it, which is Wyll, should be the one making that decision. For the other decisions, you could argue that, there were bigger implications for the mission at large, like, antagonizing Vlakis and Shah and killing the potential ally Nightsong, or Gale blowing himself up and killing everyone. All of these had big implications for, not just the person involved. So letting Shadowheart and Lizelle mostly make that decision for themselves was kind of risky. I could have just tried to convince them to make the decision that's best for the mission overall, but I decided to let them, make their own decision. And in case of Gale, I basically told him don't do it. But it made sense in that situation because of the implications. In this case, this is really just about Wyll and his father. And he should make the decision. I mean, yeah, they kind of say we need him to rebuild the city. But honestly, I don't think Artemis really cares that much about that. She's more of the opinion, okay, look, I will try my best to defeat the Elder Brain. And what happens after that is not really my business. I'm here to, save you from Gortish and Orin and the Mind Flayers. I'm not here to save you from your own bad politics. Once we defeated the Elder Brain and, if I'm still alive, I will be out of here and the rest is your business. So I don't think she considers Duke Ravengard to be that important that he has to be rescued at any cost. So I feel Wyll definitely should be the one making the decision here because he's affected. And, Artemis is probably going to make a more objective decision, but this is very subjective since, like I said, it's mostly about the personal relationship here. So it's weird that of all the decisions we had so far, this is the one where I have to make the decision. I mean, I get it from a gameplay perspective. I'm playing an RPG and I'm the player, so I'm supposed to make the hard decisions. But they did it in a more subtle way with Shadowheart and Lizelle, where they kind of, quote-unquote, made their decisions on their own, but based on decisions and actions and dialogue choices that I picked earlier, I presume anyway. But okay, since apparently they want to leave this up to me, I will stand by what I just said. It's a crappy deal. It is far too great a price to pay for one life, and we don't even know for certain that this life is in immediate danger. And even if he dies, I think it's it's not going to be like a large danger to our mission, at least like the core mission, which is to defeat the Elder Brain. So, yeah, I guess I will tell him to break the pact. I do believe that if I would give him the decision, he would probably save his father. Just like he decided to, take the deal to save the city. But on the other hand, you could also argue if I were to ask Duke Ravengard, he would probably say, no, don't do this, right? Don't sell your soul just to save me. So, this isn't really an argument. So yeah, I'm going with break the pact. You deserve your freedom. It's a bad deal. Don't make the same mistake again you did like way back. It's time to finally end this circle of, bad deals, right?
You damned wretch.
Father.
Do it. Break
Okay,
the pact.
and he's just going along with it. Will, you do have
Fiat
agency. You could have
ita.
just said no. I'm not going to
Fiat
take your advice.
ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up.
That's one way to
And
put
don't
it.
go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not
what do you mean?
for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Great. Great. Ooh, loophole. Break Wyll's pact with Mizora. Okay, well, I guess I just got an achievement here. And I'm guessing Wyll might want to talk about it. Yes, he most certainly wants to. And my other companions may have something to say about that as well. But let's begin with Wyll.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet.
It's a little late for remorse, don't you think? I'm not sure if that's remorse. It's just coming to terms with it, I suppose. You are your own man now, Wyll. It's better this way. A fantastic power play. With your father gone, you can rise up and take his place. Yeah, I mean, if we defeat the Elder Brain and the Duke does die, then, there's a potential heir, right? I'm not saying that you should try to grab the power, but, if you want it and people are willing to give it to you. I thought you never regretted taking the pact. Yeah, I don't know. Do you regret taking the pact?
I didn't. I don't. My sacrifice kept Baldur's Gate safe from Tiamat's rage. But that doesn't mean that the leash never chafed. That I was content to lap up whatever nonsense Mizora fed me. The leash has been broken and my father left for dead. Tomorrow I celebrate my gain. But today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Ravengard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something.
That's the right attitude. But again, maybe you should consider that Mizora is still feeding you nonsense. That maybe the threat against Baldur's Gate wasn't real, or at the very least exaggerated. That maybe your father is not dead yet. I mean, I can kind of understand his position. He doesn't want to get his hopes up, so if he comes to terms with this now, it might be better. And if we can somehow still save the Duke, all the better. Your father's not dead yet, Wyll. Maybe there's a way to save him. What's our next step then? I'd like to talk about something else. Yeah, I don't know. I guess he could still be alive. I think that Gortish wouldn't easily kill him, but I obviously can't promise that.
I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise.
Okay, I mean, if that's how you want to look at it. But I want you to remember that this is not your fault. If the Duke dies, it's Gortish's fault for, killing him. And not your fault for not selling your soul for all eternity to protect him. That's not your duty to him in any form. But yeah, what's our next step then?
We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds. And the city from the brain.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Go on then.
And all of this is the same as before. So I guess I will see what my other companions have to say about recent events. Garlic's just chilling here.
Feeling better. I can't believe Wyll's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Wyll Ravengard.
But he didn't. He very specifically didn't. I feel that this might be a bugged piece of dialogue. Because he very specifically didn't give up his soul. Interesting. But yeah, apparently she has a teddy bear called Clive. I haven't noticed that before. So cute.
What's on your mind?
Okay, that's all the same again. Okay, let's talk to Lizelle before I forget. She's kinda away from everyone else, so easy to overlook.
The devil Mizora has made herself quite at home, hasn't she? Do make her feel as unwelcome as you can.
Okay. I haven't actually spoken to her yet since the deal.
I'm listening.
Okay, she doesn't have any specific opinion about Will's decision here, which essentially was my decision because Wyll was just doing what I told him, but whatever.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well. But I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel
I think
for
so
his
too.
sake.
I think so
I am
too.
sure Wyll knows that. But we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark.
Indeed. You sound like you speak from experience. I don't know, maybe the story of Minsk is similar because she, quote-unquote, left him to die. I hope we'd find another way to free him from his pact. I mean, like I said, he already was freed, basically. He just needed to wait 6 more months, so this is kind of stupid. He sacrificed his father. Do you really believe he deserves our comfort? I mean, I told him to do that. So, yeah, I guess we should have just waited 6 months, but I mean, the problem with Duke Ravengard still would have been there. Anyway, do you speak from experience?
No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
All right. Thank you for your wisdom, Astarion. What's your opinion here?
Wyll gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all.
Oh no,
Especially if
I
the
see
old
what you're
Duke's
trying to do
fall
here.
Means his rise.
I see what you're trying to do here, Astarion, but this is not the same. First of all, Wyll would have gained his freedom one way or the other because his pact was already up. And you are already free as well. You don't need to sacrifice anyone to gain your freedom. You just want to sacrifice people for your convenience and more power. That's a little bit different. So we will kill Cazador to make sure you will stay free, but whether you really should sacrifice people just so you can become like an ascended vampire, that's a very different situation. Don't try to compare that, Astarion. But I guess it's not surprising that he's drawing parallels here. Oh, and yep, there she is, Mizora.
Wyll sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the pact is worth it to him.
I mean, like I said, that's not really what happened here. He didn't really sacrifice him. He only chose not to sacrifice his soul for his father. That is different. I will talk to Mizora last. Let's quickly check in with my other companions.
Wyll sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
You seem to be very understanding, but I do dislike the fact that some of my companions just repeat, like Mizora's framing here, that, Wyll sacrificed his own father, because it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Time and again, Wyll's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pact, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, we already escaped the pact, so that's not why he did this. Okay, but that's all. So I suppose we will quickly talk to Mizora too.
Little Wyll's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into.
Why are you so focused on him anyway? You forced Wyll to make an impossible choice. Wyll's not a child, you need to start treating him with respect. I can't believe Wyll actually sacrificed his father to save himself. I mean, again, I told him to do that, and it's not what he did in the first place. That's it then, Duke Ravengard's dead. Yeah, Wyll's not a child. You need to start treating him with more respect.
I beg your forgiveness for such undue impertinence. From now on, I promise him the same measure of respect he's shown his father. Oh,
that seems a bit.
I almost forgot. Wyll sold his father's life for his freedom. My mistake.
Your mistake is your wrong framing here again. I don't get it. If Wyll isn't your warlock, why stick around and give him power? You left Karlach alone. Didn't you want her dead, or what changed? What can you tell me about the Hells? You never told me how the Absolutists captured you. I want you out of here now. If you're going to be staying, I need something in return. Okay, I'm not sure if I can ask all of this. Let's try it. So, why stick around and give him power? I mean, she told me she wants us to defeat the Absolute. Well, let's ask it anyway.
The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback.
Right.
No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched.
Okay, I still have the other questions as well. Yeah, why did you leave Karlach alone?
Oh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious.
So you're saying Wyll and Karlach are allowed to stick with me so they can defeat the Absolute. Okay. Anyway, tell me about the Hells.
The 9 Hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first Hell my home, Avernus. My mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx.
Sounds cozy.
How I adore it. The delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy.
I think I politely reject. Yeah, you never told me how the Absolutists captured you.
Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel. But those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead, after all.
Yeah, I'm starting to regret that. But again, I don't really know what would have happened if we had killed her in that place. Yeah, you know what? If you're staying here, I need something in return.
Why? I'm supplying Wyll with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over.
You're only doing this for your own benefit.
When the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Okay, well, I guess that's something. Okay, and that's all we can talk about. Okay, so, well, that was an interesting situation. And we will see what the ramifications of this are going to be, whether Duke Ravengard is dead indeed or not. I guess we will find out. But for today, I'm going to call it a day. So as always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.